Lovely viewers, you are welcome once again to Rona 360. I want to use this chance or opportunity to thank all of you for supporting me on this YouTube channel. Those who have subscribed, who watch our videos each time we drop or we post them, and those who type wonderful comments and feedbacks to help this channel grow. I say thank you, and may the Almighty God continue to bless you. This is Rona 360. We talk about arts, culture, and TVET. So if you like art, if you like our culture as Africans, if you love TVET, please consider subscribing and also click on the notification bell so that anytime we post a video, you will be notified. I'll beg you to also like this video. Click on the like button and comment to join the conversation so that YouTube can recommend this video to other people so that they can also be blessed just as you are. So today's video is about some of the lessons we can talk and learn from the two golden buzzers on America's Got Talent and Britain Got Talent. You might be wondering, what has that got to do with us as Africans or Ghanaians? If you stay around and if you want to know, let's go. Now, some few days ago, the Ghetto kids from Uganda made Africa proud by getting a golden buzzer from one of the judges on this year's Britain Got Talent. That was not enough. Our friends and our neighbors and our siblings from Soweto, that is the Mzansi Youth Choir, also got a golden buzzer on the American Got Talent. So these two prestigious talent hunt or shows had African youth, African children, sons and daughters of Mama Africa getting golden buzzers. The beauty about these golden buzzers is that it isn't something that was fake. In fact, all the golden buzzers came as a result of the audience, of the people actually watching it. And as I was watching and admiring my brothers and sisters representing Africa on this international stage, all that I said was that the world has not had enough of Africa. Oh yes, the world has not had enough of Africa. And in today's video, you will understand why I am saying this. So, Mzansi Youth Choir is a youth choir that was started by a man and the wife who were carjacked by some young people in Soweto. And the people got so worried that if young people can carjack them, and thank be to God, they escaped unhurt, then something should be done to transform the life of young people. So this couple decided to start a youth transformation group by using music to change the lives of people who are on the streets, young people who are on the streets. And they are one of the best youth choirs or youth choirs in Soweto, South Africa. Ghetto Kids, on the other hand, is also an orphanage that is trying to use drama, dance, and music to change and modify the lives of orphans who are in Uganda. Now, what has that got to do with us? You see, if you watch the life and the journey of the Ghetto Kids of Uganda and the Mzansi Youth Choir, you'd come to appreciate that one thing is very important, and that is what I call transformation. If you are watching us, you realize that the orphanage Ghetto Kids is not just an orphanage. You see, there are so many orphanages in Africa and in the world. So why is this particular one making the news? It is because they have decided to transform the lives of the people in the orphanage with something that the people would love. They did not just do an orphanage. They know young people who are Africans love to dance, they love to listen to stories, they love to act them. And so they have decided to add that to the orphanage. In other words, I am trying to say that whatever they are doing in the orphanage is not just a raw thing, just doing orphanage or just organizing a school, like what our brother Percy is doing in Ghana, a teacher who is trying to add music and dance to help transform and reinforce whatever the students are learning. And you would realize that there are people who are teaching in the same area, but Percy is making the news. Why? He is transforming whatever he is doing. The Ghetto kids and the management of that orphanage have transformed orphanage system into something that is remarkable and modern. You can also say the same thing about the Mzansi youth choir. It is a youth choir that is trying to transform the scope or the appearance or how people perceive youth choirs. And that is one lesson we can learn. Whatever we are doing, we must try to transform it and add value to it. So transformation with value. If you are running an orphanage, don't just run an orphanage. Of course, people run orphanage, but then what makes this orphanage different? That is what will make you stand out. That is what will make you attract people to the orphanage. Ghetto kids have decided to do this with dance and drama. Someone can also decide to run an orphanage with technology, trying to run an orphanage where the kids are made to learn computing, are made to learn coding or software. The kids are made to learn how to handle cameras and stuff. The kids are made to learn how to use designing softwares or modeling softwares. The ideas are just there. The whole idea is that whatever we are doing, we must transform it and add value to it. And I think that is one great lesson we can learn from the Ghetto kids of Uganda and the Mzansi youth choir. Another thing that I have seen, that I've noticed about the Mzansi youth choir and the Uganda Ghetto kids is what I call as representation. On this journey, on the America's Got Talent and Britain's Got Talent, you can clearly see that these people are not just thinking about themselves as a small group in their country, but they see this as an opportunity to represent the whole of Africa, the whole of their country, the whole of their culture, and the whole of young people in their country and Africa. How do I know this? First of all, their costume. Throughout all the shows, from the maiden audition to the semi-finals, even to the finals, you can see that their costume is truly African. You can see the African print, the African colors in their costume. The Mzansi youth choir decided to go with the all-white costume of Africa, which is very symbolic. Many of African rituals, many of African ceremonies are done with white. For example, in Ghana, the Gans are known to be the epitome of white. The Ga Manche, the Wulomos, every Ga chief or a priest usually uses white. And so that is what we can say about the Gans. They are peaceful white. Ewes sometimes also use white, but Gans are typically known for using white for majority of their ceremonies and rituals. So Mzansi in South Africa decided to come in their costume, that white beautiful costume, which is really representational. The Ghetto kids from Uganda came with their African cloth, and it's just beautiful. Each and every day they come on stage, they do not come in something that you will not see Africa in it. The clothes are very symbolic of African colors or African designs. Another thing that falls under the representation is the dance. These kids are dancing, and they are dancing to the tune of African rhythms and the dancing styles of Africa. Dance styles that have originated from various parts of Africa. They did not say, okay, we are from Uganda, so we only do our Ugandan traditional dance. No. They dance to Azonto, they dance to Ashoke, they dance to dance forms that has come from Nigeria, from South Africa, from Ghana, from Congo, from Togo, Benin, and it's just beautiful, completely representational. Complete representation of Africa on the international stage. Just talk about the props. I was so touched by the Ghetto case from Uganda. I think it was the semi-finals. They had this village hut scene to show some of the representations of African rural life and how we even dry our clothes, the drying lines, and they hung beautiful African fabrics on the drying line. The props were just on point. The props were just on point. This is complete representation. What does this mean then? It simply means that if we get the opportunity as an African, because the world has not had enough of Africa, the world is now seeing the value of Africa. COVID has taught the world to appreciate Africa. You saw African music traveling on the international stage, Africans going on international tours and making Africa proud. It simply means that if we get the opportunity on the international stage, we shouldn't be sad. We shouldn't shy away from showing what we are and what we do. We shouldn't do that. We should show our way of life. That is who we are. That is what will make us different. The world wants to see Africa. They want to know us as who we are, because a lot of misconceptions has been created about Africa, our way of life, as if we are a sad, miserable people living in the way we do our things. If not for the way our politics is organized, Africans are very happy people living where we are. And so these two groups that has represented Africa on the international stage completely represented Africa in their costume, in their dance, and even the choice of songs they selected. Completely beautiful. The Mzansi Youth Choir brought representation to the next level by singing their own version of Nightbird song, and they incorporated the African dance and the African rhythms and the African movement to make it so beautiful. Another aspect that I also want to talk about before we watch the full videos is what I call modernism. You see, the fact that they came to represent Africa and they represent the African rural life and the African way of life, the everything we see even in this 21st century, where we still use our traditional clothes and traditional symbols and props and stuff, they still added a modern touch. Just look at the sandals and the shoes they are wearing. Beautiful. The dresses represent the African modern way, trying to let the white men in America and in the UK who are watching this show, this big show, know that some of the things you've heard about Africa is wrong. We live in a rural area. Some of our people live in the cities, but we don't dress like some of the depictions you've seen in your movies, like the Tarzans and stuff. No, we don't do that. And this is what I call modernism. Their dress styles is so beautiful. Look at the white dress of the Mzansi Youth Choir. It's so beautiful. Now look at the hairstyle. The hairstyle of the Mzansi Youth Choir and even the Ghetto kids. These are modern hairstyles of African youth, and such beautiful modern hairstyles, different outlook, different shapes, different designs. That is modernism. The shoes are very beautiful, modern. The dress styles are also very beautiful. One aspect of the modernism, for example, is the Mzansi Youth Choir could have come to the show and decided to sing some of the old rural songs. But at this time, to be modernist people, to show how modern African youth are, they sang one of the latest songs of Nightbird, who just passed away. May he rest in peace. And they added a very beautiful African touch to it, to let the world know that when Nightbird was on British Got Talent or American Got Talent, when Nightbird was on America Got Talent, we were watching her on the internet, to let people know that we have Wi-Fi, we have internet in Africa. So whatever you are doing in UK, you are doing in America, we see it and we hear it. This is what we call modernism, and this was done so beautiful. The final thing that I want to talk about, which is a lesson for us, all of us, in our quest to tell the African story, is what I call inclusion. You see, there are so many people who, if they had such a chance, they will be selective. Let's look at what has touched my heart and what I call as inclusion. First of all, during the audition for the Ghetto kids, you can see the number of kids. But as time went on, one of the kids fell sick. For some people, they could have taken the child who was sick out. But look at what the Ghetto kids did. They gave a different role to the one who got injured, and he was still part of the competition. As you can see, he has bandage, and they just transformed and changed the dancing so that he will not be on stage dancing, but will still be part of the dance routine. This is what I call inclusion, and it was done very beautiful. Other people would have taken the child out. Hey, no, we're proud. Kufie, if you are not well, if you are injured, go and rest. But to let them know that, look, we came as a group, we came together, and we are going to do this together. The team or the leader choreographed the dance differently to give a different role, and still incorporated the injured or the sick child in the dance routine. For Mzansi Youth Choir, inclusion is beautifully displayed. There are ladies in the group who are not wearing earring. Peradventure, they are Seventh-day Adventists, or they go to a church that does not allow them to wear earring, but they are still part of the group and they are on stage singing. Some of them had something like a hijab. It might be that they are Muslims, they are part of the group. You can see even the different hairstyle. You can see different shape and length of the skirt and different design of the dresses they are wearing. Same color but different designs, different length. This is what I mean inclusion. Even the hairstyles of the guys are not the same. Inclusion in this light I'm talking about is positive inclusion. Thinking outside the box and being tolerant to things that are important, and considering and taking that into perspective than majoring on minor things. And these two groups have taught us inclusion in the positive sense, and they've done it so beautiful. The last thing that I also want to talk about in the area of inclusion is how they included various dance tunes and various dance tunes and dance steps from every part of Africa to represent Africa on the international stage. Mzansi Youth Choir, as you can see in the video, dance to several dance songs from Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, across the continent. The same for our brothers from Uganda. Dance from Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, all part of Africa. This is inclusion. They did not see themselves as representing their country only. They saw themselves as representing Africa. Join in the conversation. If you saw something that I did not see, please type in the comment area and let the conversation continue. Please click on the notification button and like this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I believe you are touched. Now, even if these people do not win the finals, they have made all of us proud, and they've taught us a very big lesson. Long live Africa. And like I always say, these kids wouldn't have been here if they engage in narcotic drugs. Drugs kills, it destroys lives, it destroys talent. So please, if you love the arts, if you love your culture as an African, if you love TVET, technical vocational education, please stay away from harmful drugs. Please stay away from narcotic drugs. Please stay away from the abuse of even prescription drugs from the hospital, because they can ruin you. God be with you, and thank you. We'll meet one more time. Bye-bye.